on the album is by George Dakun.
Yes.
But whose voice is that?
Yeah, this conversation we've had. I've forgotten the name of the gentleman.
Oh, the guy who said,
Yes. In fact, we did the connection the other time.
Yeah. So, the first time, this man.
Who has the intellectual property?
Oh, it's George Dakun. The first time George Dakun actually sang on his own album was Money Palava. I say Money Palava, Money Palava. So in those times it was this guy singing for him.
When you were like in your mid-30s.
No, I was in my mid-50s. This song was released in 1980. So if I was in my mid-50s,
yes, that's
I
why
should be dead by now. What am
no.
I still doing
I
this
mean, it is the ancestral heritage is not lost like that.
I'll live forever. Anyway, we have a very important guest here. We're introducing him shortly. He doesn't like that, but once he's here. Good morning, Samson.
Good morning, Winston and Raymond.
You didn't say it right. Distinguished Ghanaian lawyer.
He doesn't like
of
that.
Extraordinary status.
He doesn't like that.
He's
a simple man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Raymond is bourgeois, but he tries to create the impression that he's part of the proletariat.
I'm
which is
worried
wrong.
About the way you are. Because I put in your full title, you are detaching me from the masses.
Stop pretending that you are.
From my people.
The last time I engaged Samson in his office.
Yeah. The big office.
I asked him, why? That's a subject for another conversation. We were preparing for some proceedings, and when he started asking me the question, I said, but why? Have I committed any crime? And I appreciated what lawyers do.
The thing is, I not only the people out there, but myself, I want to be sure how old Winston is.
Yeah, you want to be sure, right?
Yeah, I just want to be sure. When you have conversations with him, the stories he tells you, they are stories that only most of the times old men will tell you. They are important stuff that this generation is missing, and how he gets them.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
So he lived through time. I mean, you see, there's a movie called, is it Adeline? Where the woman never died and she kept being young. Which is a different version, except that when he lost the hair completely, he actually stopped growing at that stage. So, yeah, there are people who still reference him. He might change his name consistently and may think that that's the father's son, but no. He's reincarnated so many times.
Okay, so I have a question for all of you.
I thought that was a statement of fact.
Oh, you see, I spend a lot of time with my grandparents. So you can, and I still spend time with very old people. When I meet them, we have conversations.
No wonder.
But let me tell you about Niche chocolate drink made with Ghana's finest wholesome cocoa. Niche chocolate is full of delicious goodness. Niche chocolate drink comes in 250 ml bottle and 180 ml Tetra Pak, so that you can enjoy it big or small, and it's great for all members of the family. So visit a shop near you to get yours, and I know that you would love it. Niche Taste of Ghana, available nationwide in malls, Melcom, ShopRite, Petromats. For wholesale, contact 0244 824216 or 0244 371818. But look, ABSA says they know that life is go, and it's hard to make time for the things that really count. So they won't let banking get in your way, and that's why ABSA's digital channels. With ABSA's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what and who is important to you. Banking has never been this easy. Transfer funds into your savings account, pay your old school union dues, and your DSTV subscription, and many more with a click on your phone. Get things done simply with ABSA's digital channels. Now that's Africanacity, that's ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com.gh for further details. Now, Fab AutoZone are dealers in a wide variety of high quality, popular brand auto parts, such as which includes Motorcraft, Agdelco, NGK, Denso Champion, Autolite, Moog, and more. And they're imported directly from the USA. You're assured of an American standard quality parts for your car maintenance. We're specialized in Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, Jeep, and Toyota vehicles. We also sell maintenance parts for Range Rovers, and we do special orders as well. We do deliveries to all parts of the country. Fab AutoZone, your trusted place for high quality name brand auto parts directly from the US. Locate Fab AutoZone in Abosokan, close to father and son. You can find them on Google as Fab AutoZone Ghana, or call 0559 993 876 or 0594 248011. Fab AutoZone, your trusted place for high quality brands. So, Samson, let's get into our conversation. A brief one, because on Saturday, 1st April, we have Joy Change Speakers Series 4. Tell us about that.
Right, so the Joy Change Speakers Series became necessary as a result of what we felt as the Newsfile production, together with, executives of this important platform, that there are too many times that we're interrogating issues, we're talking to the people who matter, and we're criticizing, and often it is criticism. It may be important to take a pause and listen to people without necessarily interrupting them, and hear them make certain points. It's people that have distinguished themselves in their particular fields, so that they can contribute significantly to the nation building. So that's how come we put up Joy Change Speakers Series. So when we are inviting the people to come on, they cut across people in public office. As you may have seen already, we have invited judges at the Supreme Court, except that sometimes their limitations don't allow them. We have invited the Attorney General, because there are issues that sometimes they may need a certain platform to help all of us to appreciate in a certain way. So far it's been good, and we are going to the 4th. And this time, coinciding with the 30th, anniversary of the Constitution of Ghana 1992, we felt we should now focus on the Constitution.
Okay.
Because of the debate that has been revived for either a review, amendment, or an overhaul, so to speak, of the Constitution. So we have we are privileged to have received the confirmation of some of your very best when it comes to analyzing the Constitution. People who have taken time to study the Constitution and its shortfalls. There are those who belong to the Professor Raymond Atugube's school of thoughts. That Constitution we go chop. There are those who belong to that school who will also be on the platform to tell us why they think it's not really exactly about amending or reviewing the Constitution, so to speak, but being good people and implementing the Constitution to full. Yeah. So that's where we are looking at getting it right after 30 years. If you have followed the Ghana Compact discussions by Dr. K.Y. Amuakon, who has been able to mobilize your very important people in this country. And just last week, I was in one of those meetings, Senior Samokujeto, Sam Jonah, and a host of other very important people looking through the Ghana Compact, Professor Emerita Techua Menu, and a host of others. And one of the things that rang through was the lack of a long-term vision by the state, where all political parties, when they win power, could now also begin to evolve their, short and long-term projects into. It is the reason, for example, we now know when President Kufuor started affordable housing, then he didn't finish. When his term was over, the NDC came, they abandoned it, and rather decided to also embark on another affordable, housing project. You remember STS?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they too did something, including the SAG limit that you now have. Now, the new regime has come, also abandoned that. But they haven't stopped there. They are also pursuing another affordable housing project. All of them using our taxes. All of them taking loans and borrowing, to do all of these things. But the Constitution says
as far as practical,
that, yes. So it's sort of an advice. It's sort of an encouragement. So you hear these, people say, it ought to be such that it shouldn't be an advice. And in fact, the Constitution Review Commission, set up in 2010, who presented their report in 2012, also spoke to this matter. People are concerned that you cannot look and talk about the incremental development that this country, should be speaking about. After how many years of managing this country, we should be far, far, far away from where we are. You get it? So that is a question for why the constitution needs to be tweaked. There are many questions of recent times that will bring to fore why the constitution needs to be tweaked. So we're using the Change Speakers Forum, bringing in the people who have, if you like, call it the gravitas, who understand these issues thoroughly, to come and help influence the discussion in a way that will lead to what is good for this country.
So who are these speakers, change speakers, who will be speaking on Saturday?
So among them, Professor Bafo Ajimandua,
sure,
who is the CEO of the Kufuor Foundation.
Yes.
He's an author. He has you cannot doubt his credentials when it comes to interrogating the Constitution and our developments. You have Ace Nkoma. Ace Nkoma, you may have heard him recently, write profusely about the question of review of the Constitution. And even though he says some amendments are important, you hear him end on a certain note that suggests in our Constitution we go chop. The things that if we did with this Constitution, if we kept fidelity to this Constitution, the things we would have achieved. So presently, we are talking about the appointments to the EC, and a known MPP loyalist has been appointed. The question that, development CEO, CSOs are talking about is, this is not right. But the Constitution says it's a point. The Constitution does not seek to sort of fetter his discretion to make those appointments. So what can you do?
Yeah.
So now they are saying, well, maybe we should look for another way around it, how to do it. So it's a question for Constitution review. If it's not, what do we do about that? Then Inusa Fuseni, the former minister, and who has been in Parliament long enough, because we need the expertise of people who have also been in Parliament to bring a certain perspective to the debates. So Inusa Fuseni too is there. Bridget Jugbanuku of the PPP. The PPP has provided a certain front. They came to a point where we felt they would be the third force.
Yeah.
But things are changing. And I'm sure that every, reasonable person should be praying that they're able to find their feet again and give us reason to come to an OB, like in Nigeria it happened, so that the duopoly doesn't take all of us for granted the way they do. You hear them often talk about certain things that need to be changed in the Constitution. So she will be here, and I've monitored her. Almost every discussion on the Constitution and amendment, you find her there. At UPSA, the rest of them, she's been there. We have the NCC boss, chairperson, Kathleen Ade. They too should have a certain role.
Okay.
So she will also be on. We have Oliver Bakavomawo. Now, that young man played a certain critical role in the Constitution Review Commission's project. And if you like, you may say he was the engine, the research brain. He was your typical, Raymond, Aqua. Yes, I call Raymond Google. But his research is far better than Google. Maybe sure. Google scholar. He did quite a good work a lot of work in there. So when we are doing the discussions, he's capable of pointing out to you what issue we dealt with in the review, to what level. Okay. There are over 50, non-entrenched clauses that were identified. What were the extent of those things? There are 41 entrenched clauses. What exactly did they deal with? And he can take you through line by line, waking from sleep
Okay.
he will do it.
Samson,
So,
I
yeah.
know you have to go on, Joy News
Right.
right now. So that's on Newsfile.
That's right.
Newsfile on
Right.
Saturday.
That's right.
At 9 a.m.
That's correct.
to 12 noon.
That's right.
I won't miss that for anything.
You shouldn't.
You
You shouldn't.
I'll be watching.
We'll be distributing for free about 100 constitutions so that people have the constitution they can look through and convince themselves that there is in fact need for a review.
Okay.
The president has joined this conversation, except that recently he seems to be a bit hesitant about the manner in which it should take. But before, he used to be for an overhaul.
Okay.
So what do we do with the 6.3 million that was spent on the constitution review? That's the worth. That's the value of what they did at the time too. People are promising to scrap ex gratia. Should it be a question of a promise and someone deciding to do it, or it should be because the constitution says it has to be done? Election of these DCEs. Should it be because somebody wants it done, or the constitution should clearly say so? Deal with Article 55.
We'll have that debate. Election of MMDCs. But something before you go, I see Kingsley waiting.
Right.
But before you go, we're having a conversation about mother tongue.
Yeah.
Today, and all of us have been talking about our mother tongue. What's your mother tongue?
Gruni.
Okay.
What you will call frafra.
Frafra.
Right.
Lawani.
Lansuna. Omeanwane.
Lansuna.
Okay.
Remo, don't look at me. See when I go with my red sheep eating fellows.
Give consumption.
No, we'll pick one or two.
So if the attempt was to check if I can speak, then I can speak.
Oh, I know you can speak
thoroughly. I can
Unlike
speak
Mbura.
and speak in proverbs. But I'll tell you, I'll make this confession to you. As I was driving here, and you said, as you sit in your car and you are driving to work, so and so, think about this. It was like you were talking to me, because my kids, I'm trying what I can, but somehow the English is dominating, and I'm not married to a Gruni woman, so to speak. So that's also a different ball game. But I'm trying it, and I'm not happy with myself, how much I have achieved with my kids as far as speaking, the local language is concerned. Yeah, so it's not good at all. We need to do something about it.
We need to do something about it. Folks, on this note, let's listen to this documentary produced 8 years ago by Kweku Owusu Prepra.